How to follow the news without getting too upset. Many people these days feel upset, distracted, and exhausted by the news. That's the state. Our world is in a difficult situation, and it's not easy to handle. But not following the news doesn't seem like a good choice to me. I did that for a few years. I simply didn't read or watch the news, except once a month or two when I tried to catch up. For most people, that doesn't seem like a responsible choice. I feel fortunate because I'm now able to follow the news while staying relatively grounded. I get angry, of course, and I'm not happy with the state of the world. But it doesn't knock me down or drain me excessively. I can focus, almost every day, even though I'm not immune to it at all. How do you find the balance between being able to follow the news and not getting so upset that you can't carry out your normal daily activities? I'll explain how I do it, but first, I'd like to share a couple of mindset shifts that can be helpful. First, mindset shifts. There are two mindset changes that have helped me a lot. The first was taught to me by Cochrane, one of our best living Buddhist teachers. The second by both the Stoics and Zen. 1. Let the news connect you to humanity. When I read terrible news, instead of thinking about how awful things are, a valid way of looking at things, I let it be a moment to practice compassion for others. Pema, in her book, Welcoming the Unwelcome, talks about how giving in to sadness and anxiety when we read the news can lead to a defeatist attitude. Why try to do something to improve the future if it's hopeless anyway? But according to karma teachings, the future isn't written. What we do now matters, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who is part of this interconnectedness we call Mother Earth. Even smiling at someone once can have a huge ripple effect that extends as far as the eye can see. Who knows how far? If that's the case, then think about how much we can influence the world by training enthusiastically to open our hearts and minds, day after day. Pema Cochrane, Welcoming the Unwelcome. Here's how I practice. If there's a shooting, a war, or people losing their jobs, I let my heart open for a minute to feel compassion for the people affected. I feel a little pain. I send them a wish of compassion. Sometimes I might feel a bit of anger, and I allow myself to feel it, but I don't focus on hate or judgment. I focus on the hearts of the people involved and open my heart to them. I believe this is important. 2. Focus on what you can control. Often the news can be stressful because it makes us feel powerless. It's helpful to remember that we can't control everything, but we can choose to focus on what we can control. So I like to focus on things I can do something about. It could be writing to a legislator, signing a petition, supporting a nonprofit that's helping, spreading important information, or simply educating myself about an issue to be less ignorant, or connecting with people. I don't do this every day, to be clear, but I ask myself, what can I do about this? At the very least, I focus on something else in my life that is more doable. Now, a method for following the news with all this in mind. Here's what I do to follow the news concretely. Find balanced sources. I choose a couple of sources that seem balanced to me, that aren't misinformed or screaming as if the world is about to end. Then I focus on following them, mostly daily, while also exploring broader sources. For me, it's the New York Times and Vox. I subscribe to both. You might disagree, and that's fine. Choose what works for you. Weekly, roughly. I also check more international sources and magazines that delve deeper or have more alternative perspectives, just for a bit of balance. Set limits. I check my daily news sources about twice a day, for about 10 minutes. I know I could be more informed, but this feels right to me. The rest of the time, I allow myself to be in a crazy-free zone. Breathe and connect. When I read the sources, I just try to get a sense of what's happening, and sometimes a bit of the why. This might mean most of the time I don't read too deeply. As I scroll, I breathe. I feel close to the people affected and connect with them with an open heart. I ask myself, what can I control in this situation? Is there an action I can take to help in some way? If so, I might make a note so I can act or at least reflect on that action. If not, I'm simply more informed, and that can be enough. Sometimes I go deeper. When a topic is important enough, I read articles that delve into it. I don't have time for this most of the time, but when I do, I try to understand. Let go. When I finish one of my news reading sessions, I breathe and let go of everything I'm holding on to. Maybe I'm a bit disturbed or sad. That's allowed. I process the emotion for a moment or two, then I tackle the next thing in my day by being fully present with it. Sometimes I need a walk to calm down, or a short meditation. But I try not to carry all of this with me in everything I do. All of this takes practice. It doesn't come naturally to me. But for me, it's important not only to stay informed, feel empathy for people and care about what happens, but also to be able to have the resources and take care of what's important to me and under my control. I hope this helps you. My wish is that you can find peace in your life. With love, Leo Babauta Zen Habits ### Mira of the Pleiades. Consciousness is everything. Greetings. I am Mira from the Pleiadian High Council. I am still working full-time with the Earth Council, and I wish to share with you. I am honored to be here with you today and to share with you the highest honors. I love and respect you. I will provide you with more information. Whatever you are doing on Earth right now makes your work valuable. Soon you will begin to realize just how important your work truly is. Your lives are becoming increasingly meaningful to the entire ascension process. We will support you in every way during this process. We have many examples of how you will serve, and this will bring you great happiness, beyond anything you could have ever imagined. You are now being given the opportunity to know, understand, and think more broadly about your service to Earth and ascension. Consciousness is everything, and it counts in myriad ways. We are all called to a broader service. If only you could witness the immense work the Sun is doing now, in tandem with Earth, you would be amazed. You do not fully know the scope of your contribution to these matters. Your energies are needed to help stabilize Earth and assist others in raising their awareness. Those energies that do not serve the planet are being removed, never to be seen again. It is important for you to know this because it allows you to fully enter the higher realms of service. You are beautifying Earth, healing humans, plants, animals, and the planet itself. As you become happier, more joyful souls, Earth becomes more beautiful, and your days become more glorious. You are undergoing a tremendous shift. Solar activity alone is phenomenal. This demonstrates how planets, the Sun, Earth, celestial bodies, humans, plants, minerals, animals, trees, and waters are all working together, rising towards the light to assimilate the new frequencies. This is miraculous. Here you are, my dears. This is a new day. We will work with you more closely in the near future. I am Mira, and I send you my love and joy. ### Activation and restructuring of planetary crystals. Dearest ones. In our planetary restructuring, many updates are currently underway as we welcome the first eclipse in Aquarius, which will be a catalyst for planetary release from many Earth sites that are still at a lower frequency. A mass awakening is currently occurring in some areas of our planet. Some are in rehabilitation, while others continue to be updated, extending to other areas of the planet. Arthurian and Aurora crystals are being activated in new locations, stabilizing other areas where they were already seated and bringing down the new Earth code so these locations may transfigure into a new enlightened frequency. Many of you, as Arthurian and Aurora harmonic channels, possess a unique encoding in your blueprint to correct inverted planetary structures and are now contributing to anchoring this new frequency, as planet Earth is heading towards a new cycle and a new order as never before. A new order that, as I have said, does not correspond to the divine order that many of us are here to help recover, as there is still much to do for our planet to recover its original blueprint. However, a new enlightened Earth has already been created, welcoming new souls who have finally emerged from the matrix, now having a more enlightened sphere of creation in which to dwell. As seventh-dimensional channels and anchors of the new Earth, your mission is to contribute to the recovery of the seventh-dimensional violet ray on Earth, which has now been rehabilitated in most places on Earth. Arthurian Earth crystals and Aurora pillars are meant to support places that are already ready to become fifth-dimensional spaces. We are updating the new sites, although there may be others that, as always, are protected from public disclosure, or that you will receive according to your divine assignment. As you know, much of what happens in our mission is not meant to be shared, because as ascending souls we know where we need to be and where we need to act to contribute, and it is often energetically protected from disclosure. If you are a planetary healer in the unique way you are meant to be, you will know where you need to go or be. No one can tell you. You can only confirm what you already know. It cannot be forced. It must come from your authentic divine self. Otherwise, it will not be in perfect synchronicity and flow. We must accept our divine role without making comparisons and without wanting to do what someone else is doing, because forcing a mission that is not ours overshadows the one that is precious to us. It is not about going to a place and doing what we desire, otherwise we will create even more energetic corruptions. It is first about being aligned with who we are, with our mission, and then receiving what we need and how we must do it. I share this with great love, because I see many trying to force a mission due to the false spiritual propaganda we are often exposed to, which tells us what is spiritual, and who is not. Some of these new locations incorporating new light transmissions are Montserrat, Spain, a seventh-dimensional Arthurian space already experiencing another infusion to expand into nearby areas ready to transcend an old frequency. Uluru, Australia, and Easter Island, Chile, serving as interdimensional Earth portals for the new Earth codes descending from the God worlds. The Bay of Biscay, Spain, is also a seventh-dimensional Arthurian site undergoing numerous updates at this time. Conakry, Guinea, Africa, where a major opening is occurring to help restore the elemental kingdom. White Horse Vale in Westbury, England. Montségur in southern France. Qatar encoding and memory release. Giza, Egypt, which, contrary to popular belief, still has many astral connections, influences, and structures to rehabilitate. Iran. Despite great progress, this region is still undergoing recoding, rehabilitation, and updating where possible. Discernment is now crucial, as we transcend an old cycle and a new planetary order is being created. For not everything that appears real is authentic and comes from a benevolent space. We are in a very important passage to continue freeing our consciousness from the many traps it has been exposed to. All of you and your efforts to contribute to our planet's transition are celebrated by the enlightened worlds. May you continue to be an authentic divine channel for all, beloved ones. I am a precious divine being, created with divine precision, according to a perfect divine design. I have unlimited access to divine wisdom within me, and I know everything I need for my personal path and mission. I consciously eliminate all spiritual distortions about who I am and who I am not, and I recover my authentic divine memories of who I am and my unique role within creation and direction. And so it is. In infinite love, Natalia Alba ###, a message from Aphrodite. Selfless love. There is no one you should love more than yourself. This does not refer to the ego, but rather to your sense of self-worth and the ability to see yourself as a beacon of light for the world. When you love yourself, you give others permission to love and accept you, instead of criticizing or judging you. When you love and accept yourself, you are in your power and transmit to the world a certainty that cannot be questioned. Most of you on Earth, particularly those who are healers and light workers of the world, still have work to do in this area. You cannot be a master if you have not mastered the art of unconditional love. I call it an art, because it is a way of thinking and being that is not congruent with human nature. Since humans have been endowed with an ego and an emotional body that can cloud their judgment and ability to see and think things objectively, their connection with their spiritual body and divine blueprint can be lost very quickly and very early in life. Growing up, many people are subjected to things like religious indoctrination, social beliefs and expectations, abuse, neglect, abandonment, brainwashing, and other behaviors that serve to disconnect and disillusion them. Furthermore, many souls still carry unresolved trauma and/or karma from past lives, which can insidiously undermine spiritual growth and development. Love is not a state or a condition, dear hearts. It simply is. It is how you were created. In a moment of bliss, without conditions or expectations other than the gift of life and the opportunity to serve humanity. For many of you, the call to your soul's purpose is now urging you to stop and reassess where your life is going and whether it still fills you with joy or not. If not, prepare to welcome change and trust that your instinct and intuition are nudging or pushing you in the right direction and onto the path that will connect you to your divine blueprint and the reason you reincarnated. Every moment of transition can be unnerving, because it brings with it a good dose of uncertainty and turbulence that can include discussions, arguments with friends and loved ones, and changes in job, residence, and financial situation. This can sometimes be unpleasant and uncomfortable, but no change can ever truly manifest and integrate without everything that no longer serves everyone involved being cleared away or resolved. Awareness is the key, my dears, because it can facilitate reflection and intentional change of your perspectives, influencing how you choose to react and interact with people. Thinking before you act, speak, or write will have a huge impact on the actions, reactions, and interactions of those around you. I am Aphrodite. ###, the creators. New dimensions available to be explored. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help you. We are co-creating with many of you new experiences, available realms, new dimensions to traverse, and we do this with your consent. We do everything we do in agreement. It is co-creation. We are not just spiritual teachers. We are also universal architects, and we work with source energies to offer beings like you the possibility of new experiences. Everything already is. All of creation already exists, but what changes is the experience of all that is. We can assist you in this because we are co-creating with source energies to offer you new avenues, new ways of knowing yourselves and expressing. Those of you who are very creative, very courageous, and very inventive come to us while you sleep at night. You connect with us to co-create, and we listen. We are always listening. We always pay attention. We exist as we are to offer beings and collectives greater opportunities to know themselves as source energy beings. This is one of our purposes. We want you all to know that your planet offers far more experiences than you can imagine at this moment. Therefore, we want you to understand that when the ships arrive, you won't have to be in such a hurry to jump on board and leave your rock floating in space. You will learn to navigate your planet in a way that will offer you more and better experiences of its wonderful and loving energy. She is now, and will forever be, connected to all of you who are in human form on planet Earth. So, please recognize that you have only just begun to scratch the surface of the possibilities of joy, love, and excitement opening up on Mother Earth. You are beginning to explore the various dimensions and portals within you and among you. Again, it may seem like all the fun is out there, on other planets, moons, and space stations throughout the galaxy, but you really must consider how much you have available on your own planet. You will discover how much more will be available to you in the coming years, and you will be happy and proud to call planet Earth your home and your point of origin for this life. And when you sleep at night, we can continue to explore together where else you can go and what else you can experience as consciousness. We are the creators, and we love you very much.